show where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe and become a part of the chat family. I do lives Monday to Friday, about 15 minutes or so. So it's not too overwhelming for you or me. But tomorrow will be an exception because of the holiday. I don't think I'll be live. Maybe I will. But we have to see how it's going, but I'll let you know. Hi, Heather. How are you doing? Welcome. Happy Thursday. How was your day? Today, if you get tomorrow off, we can hang out. Yeah, that would be amazing, Heather. So today we're talking about the people who like to choose us last, right? There's always people who always wanna shelf you, put you on a shelf, and make you a last option. And we're not the last option. We should be the first option. Don't let people treat you in a disrespectful manner. And we can't make people show up. We can't make people do the right thing by us. But what we can do is stand up for ourselves, not let people use us and abuse us, take advantage, all of those things. And that's something that's important. It takes time. It takes being aware. It takes having self-esteem and confidence and knowing your own value and worth. And it took me a long time to get to that space in my life. I don't think I came into having enough self-esteem until I was, I want to say like 23, 24, before I began to have self-esteem. Miss Heather says, choose ourselves first. Surround ourselves with those who treat us right. I moved away from toxic family long ago. Here with hugs always. Oh, thank you so much, Heather. I appreciate you. Yeah, but it's something that we have to learn, because I was one of those individuals who always felt like I loved them so that they love me. So, you're partaking in toxicity if you keep allowing your relative, friend, whoever to disrespect you. Hey, Realist, how are you doing? Happy Thursday. Um, we allow people to treat us a certain way. And when you don't cut them off, when you don't block them, when you partake in their madness and their drama, always, making excuses, right? Because a lot of people do that. And I've been guilty of it. I can call it out because I am a grown woman. I have allowed people to disrespect me. I really have. I haven't stood up for myself because I didn't want to hurt people's feelings, but then they don't care about hurting your feelings. So this conversation that I wanted to talk about today is, hey Destiny, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Thursday. This about not letting people make you be the last option. I did that for so many years with relatives. I did that for friends. I've done that on social media. Hi Leo, how are you doing? I have done so many things for so many people, but at the end of the day, they don't choose you back, And whether people want to admit it or not, but it's all about confidence. It's all about having enough self-esteem. I'm doing great, Destiny. Thanks for asking. I'm glad you are as well. It took me a long time to get to this space to say, I don't care not that I don't care what you have going on, but when people are going through things in their life, they want to treat you how they feel. And that's not acceptable. Realist says, exactly, they always want to be treated a particular way, but never return that courtesy. Yes. And then that part is up to us. I had to cut off people, and I'll tell you, it's the hardest thing to cut off relatives. People call them family, but I call them relatives. It's hard to cut them off, but you feel so much better. It's the ones that only call you when they want money, when they want your time, and they're only call you when they're on the low. when things are going bad for them, but they never call you in positive things. Or if they get some extra money or they got something good happening, they don't share those things. No. And that's one of the things that I had to start saying to myself. It was a life lesson for me because I'm woman enough to say it. I had to learn how to treat myself. I had to learn that I was not a doormat. And you're not a doormat either. Don't let people, because of a title or because of they claim that they love you, right? It doesn't matter. It could be in a romantic relationship. It can be a relative. It can be people on social media. Respect goes both ways. You're not going to get respect if you don't respect me. And I think it's the weirdest thing in this world. The people who feel like you should respect them, but they are disrespectful of your time, they're disrespectful of your feelings. They're disrespectful of your money. They want to be very controlling and demanding. And it's just like, this doesn't make any sense. It's a one-sided thing. But we're the ones that have to cut it off. We're the ones that have to say, no, this is not going to work. I'm not going to allow this. Yeah, it's not acceptable, right, Destiny? Destiny says, to me, blood doesn't make you family. How you treat a person, respect them, and show them love. That's who you call family. And I'm in agreement with that. And that took me a long time to be able to not only believe it, but to make application to my life. Because you'll say, oh, I'm not going to take that. But then somebody does something that you don't like, and then you just say, oh, you know how they are. You just contradicted yourself. I had to learn to not only say what I want, but to make application. And it's hard sometimes, you know. Destiny says, like Aretha Franklin says, R-E-S-P-C-T. Yes, yes, I'm in agreement of that. But it is hard. It's hard to say one thing and then to do another, to be what you say you are, back it up. Don't just say, oh no, I'm not going to let people disrespect me. Oh no, I'm not going to allow that. And then when somebody does something to you, what do? How do you show up? How do you talk to yourself? How do you let them treat you? And my thing is, I'm very big on time management. I don't like when people waste my time. Like, if you say something is going to be at a certain time, keep your word. And if you can't make it, communicate. Hey, I'm running 10, 15 minutes late, or whatever, or I'm not going to be able to make it today. Communicate. Communication is everything. And a lot of times people don't understand that part, that communication is the key to all healthy relationships. But people who don't know anything about communication, people who are very toxic, they don't know their value and they don't know their worth, they don't know how to treat you back, right? Hey, Real Odds and Evens, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Thursday. And that's one of the things that it's a life lesson. We have to learn how to treat ourselves first. We have to learn when the energy is off, when a person really is toxic. And it's not just always people that we know. Hi, Anita. How are you doing? Welcome. And it's not just people that we know, like in person. It's also people on social media. You may know a character, you may know a personality, but you don't know them. But you can get involved in feeling some type of way, feeling very uncomfortable, feeling very used and controlled from people that you don't even know in real life. It's a very funny thing how social media, people could be loving people who they don't even know, or getting into so many other things that it's just so weird how people will be in, like, loving somebody that they don't know just because of what they think that they are, the mirage, right? Yes, welcome, Anita. Destiny says, yes, so that I can have inner peace. And that is the key right there. That's the key. The key to everything in this life is how you feel about yourself on the inside. And as a woman who put many years into therapy. I put many years into therapy, into self-love, into giving myself the permission to let go of what I can't change, to let go of anything that is toxic, any space where I'm not experiencing personal growth and development. I gotta go. It doesn't matter about the feelings. See, sometimes people get so involved with their emotions that they're not paying attention to, look how disrespectful they are. Look how rude they are. Look how manipulative and controlling this person is. And people will ghost you. And that happened to me where I really opened up my eyes during the pandemic. Like, it was like, okay, now that we can't see each other, and all you have really is time to communicate. It's like you're not going anywhere. Nobody was going anywhere and doing anything. And if you couldn't communicate at that time when you had nothing but time to be at home and to think, and if you didn't value me then, once the pandemic is over, don't try to come back now. Because it was over. You know, the pandemic really opened up my eyes to what was really important and who really valued me back. Because a lot of times we will feel that people will value us. They don't value you. That was just a using thing, or that was just, you know, sometimes we'll feel like people love us, but they're looking at you like an associate. They're looking at you as just a person that they know of, a person that they've seen, and you will have your feelings tied up in things. And it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, we're not friends. We're not, you know. Real Austin even says they value what they can get out of it, and that's the thing right there. I had to understand that when people could not get value out of me, like when you stop providing a service for people, I learned that when I stopped giving my money, when I stopped giving my time, when I stopped giving my support, you really find out who cares about you. You find out who really loves you like they claim they do. Oh yeah, they love you. People love to throw out that love bombing. Oh yeah, I love you and all this. But what is the proof? When it comes down to it, love is an action word. And if somebody can't show up for you, if they can't show up for you, who cares about the words? You know? Of course, everybody wants to be told that they're loved. But for me, I'd rather somebody say, they're going, like say for instance, you know that person has a headache or something. I'd rather somebody went and bought me some pain medicine, or if I had a cold, went and got me some soup, or they did something nice as an act of service to prove, to show that they really do care. It's just easy for people to say they love you, but when the hard times, or I always say, when you become difficult to love, how do they treat you? See, that's what the thing is. People will talk about they love you when you're easy to love. But what about if you're sick? You're struggling financially? What about when you may have a health problem? Maybe you're having a mental health disruption, mental health issues. Do they still are applying that same love when it's a little bit more difficult, or it is difficult to love you? Hmm. That's the part that I'm looking at. Now, I don't like when people say they love you when it's convenient, but what about loving you when you're a pain in the neck, or when, you know, when trouble happens, when adulting happens, maybe you get into a predicament, we never feel like, oh, we'll ever have depression. We never feel like you're going to lose a job or you're going to go through something. But everybody has those bumps in the roads. And I always say, during my dark periods, the times where I really don't have much, or I'm going through some things, you know, mentally and emotionally, that's when I look around and see who is there supporting me. For me, that's who I call a loved one. Okay. I'm going to read this last comment and then we're going to get out of here. Realist says, I realized they, him or her, might be doing us a favor we didn't even know we needed when they ghost. Yes, we didn't even think we needed them to ghost us. You know, and it hurts sometimes, like initially, because of how we feel, but it's true. It's a favor. I say it's a gift. It's a blessing when we find out who people really are. When the mask falls off and you really identify who a person really is, that's when you say, okay, good. I was protected. That's a gift. So, thanks, guys, for tuning in to today's conversation. Raad says they love the idea of someone, but not the actual person. Some don't use real love, but an infatuation, or a wanting of control. Yes. And also, sometimes people just use that word love so that they can use you for your body, for your mind, for your money, for, whatever you can, help them to elevate in business or whatever. But we got to recognize we're not fools. We're very intelligent, chat family. I know you are intelligent. So use your mind. Think logically. Be intellectual. Know your value and your worth, and don't be in your feelings, because the feelings can get you really messed up. You can be all in your feelings and they won't care. They're still moving on with your life, and it's time for you to move on with yours. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I will definitely tap in tomorrow. Shout out to all of my mods. Shout out to all of my subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for tuning in, and I'm thinking that next week, because it's one of my days off, I think I'm going to do longer than a 15-minute. I'll probably do it on StreamYard, so I can drop the link and you guys can tap in for a good topic. I'm going to think about a really good topic so that we can maybe stay on and maybe do a marathon. I think next week, Saturday, I think next Saturday, I'm going to do a marathon on this channel. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new here, subscribe, like. And if you're watching in the replay, you're a real one. You are a real one. Thank you so much for your support. And leave me a comment below. Thank you, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. This is the Marlene Saunders Show, and I'm out. Peace, guys.